So now that patch 1.15 is here, we've had a little bit of time with Mercy and to see just how the changes have affected her. And I think we all expected that Mercy would be getting better. The new Ultimate Valkyrie makes everything about her better, healing, boosting, and her Resurrect cooldown. And even though Resurrect has been moved to a single target 30-second cooldown, it was still something that we expected to be effective. But according to the data, it is like nearly twice as good. Now this information is coming from an article by Switch of OmnicMeta.com, where he takes a close look at how the recent Mercy changes have affected some of her stats and performance in game. All of this data is pulled using the Blizzard API, so it's about as accurate as it can get, beyond coming straight from Blizzard themselves. So let's take a look at what was unveiled in this article. First off, we'll look at the number of Resurrects per game. This has nearly doubled at every level of play. Even though she only can res one person at a time on a 30-second cooldown and at a 5-meter range while no longer being invulnerable, with Resurrect being instantly reset when she activates her ultimate and then being changed for a 10-second cooldown for its duration, she is getting many more Resurrects off in the course of every match, nearly twice as many. The new Mercy basically nullifies any early game picks and is really gonna stall the meta. It's gonna slow things up because normally what happens, you get a pick and then you engage with the advantage. Well, that first pick is basically nullified every time there is a Mercy, and we'll talk about how many more Mercies there are in pretty much every single game later in this video. Next, he took a look at the healing. She is still the best healer in the game compared to every other healer by nearly 50% in terms of the amount of healing that she does. In fact, the healing that she's done has gone up about 7% on average since patch 1.15, and of course this is likely due to her increased team healing while using her ultimate, now healing pretty much everyone within range of the target that you are healing to. You might be wondering, well, you know, Force, these are some big changes. She's got the best healing, she has twice as many Resurrects as she used to per match. How's her win rate changing? Well, very little. In fact, there's been little noticeable change in the win rate of Mercy, between 1 and 3% in Bronze, Silver, and Gold, but less than a single percent in every other tier. So that's interesting, because we're looking at the stats. Her healing got better. She's resing twice as many people per match. She's obviously better. She's dying nearly the same, according to this article as well. So why hasn't her win rate skyrocketed? Well, it's simple, because her pick rate has also increased dramatically. In nearly every single match, there is a Mercy player. Usage rate is nearly 100% in every single tier of play. So there's a lot more people playing Mercy than have ever before. As a result, you get people who aren't as good as the hero, so even though the hero is better right now, the stats for the number of games that are won with a Mercy decreases as more people enter the pool of playing Mercy. So I just thought this was a really interesting article. You know, after spending some time playing as her and playing against her, the new impact of Mercy has definitely been noticed. You don't really get those big, flashy team reses anymore. It's just simply not possible. But what you do get is a res, followed by an ultimate with a second immediate res, bringing 2 people back into the battle. At that time, Mercy is now much harder to hit because she's flying through the air, and she's healing potentially everybody else on her team, while also being harder to kill because damage doesn't interrupt her self-heal while in ultimate form. And then 10 seconds later, after her second res, she can do another res, followed up by 2 more at 10-second intervals. Mercy is much stronger, and even though the win rate hasn't changed very much, I expect that will change if Mercy stays in her current form as people get better and more familiar with playing her. The people who are already good at Mercy are going to see a huge boost into how effective they are in matches, with nearly twice as many Resurrects per match and healing increased by 7%, and still being the best across the board. It was just some really interesting information and data, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Again, you can check out the article in the description below. Once again, it was written up by Switch of OmnicMeta.com, so big shout out to him. I'd love to know what you guys think about the new Mercy, about these stats, about this information, and how you've been affected personally in your games, either playing as Mercy or playing against her. As I said, for me, the new impact is definitely very noticeable. All right, everybody, that is gonna do it for me here today. As always, I wanna thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a good one. Until next time, I'll see you later.